now online.
Alrighty, here we go. We are on Neo Requiem. We have BeSt at the 6 o'clock position, and we have Hero at the 9 o'clock position. And we have a lot of BeSt fans in our 12 o'clock position.
A lot of BeSt fans in the BeSt camp. I love how Korean fans cheer. Woo, it sounds like there's owls in here. And nobody's cheering for him. We could cheer for him. Woo!
They're like ghosts.
Ooh, it's really spooky in here, even though Halloween's
great.
over. The ghost of Boxer still haunts the GOM
All right,
TV studios.
here is the poll.
Even after he's lost.
Here's the poll on the Korean site. I know many of you guys have been asking to have a poll for the American site too, but and there's Hiding Girls. Anyway, it looks like 88% BeSt to win and 12% for Hero to win. I'm kind of surprised they even had 12% for Hero, to be honest. Not hating on him, but...
Yeah, well, BeSt is pretty good. By the way, for those of you who only watch the GOM TV Classic and you don't follow other leagues, there's actually a game I'd really like to recommend, the BeSt versus Stork series for the Star League. It was a Protoss versus Protoss. Really effing good series. I mean, mind-blowingly good. Definitely check that out. They're all on YouTube. All right, and actually, you know what? This is kind of weird. I'm actually a little bit shocked that we're not seeing BeSt fast expand. This is one of those maps that you pretty much have to fast expand on. Oh, nice! Zerg wanted a 9 pool, but it's not going to happen. Well, pool gas, I should say. The metagame's kind of shifting, and 9 points becoming less common. Now sometimes we see players get a second Overlord and then get the pool and the Vespian gas. But in this case, no. So BeSt already onto an edge here with this, even with this unusual play. Damn, barely got that hatchery up. He's got to be careful.
All right, that says,
Best of
Teoga,
best.
사랑해, best of the best.
Clever signs,
That
everyone.
means, they're just proclaiming their love for BeSt, basically.
That's what I gathered as well. I think,
There's a good word for you guys to know in Korean. 사랑해 means I love you. So,
사랑해?
Yeah, there you go. So they're all proclaiming their love for BeSt because they love him.
what a baller.
What a baller. He's got a choice of, I don't even know how many girls are in here.
He's seriously got at least 2 control groups of women down here. Okay, again, the probe needs to stay alive. He only sees 6 Zerglings. He can keep zigzagging back. Whoa, he should not have done that. He should have really kept the probe alive for longer. That probe's death was in vain. Best build, actually, though, I can't reiterate enough. This is actually quite an unorthodox opener. You do not see Protoss players one base on maps where you start out on low ground, because there's a lot of different ways it can go wrong. So clearly BeSt either feels very comfortable on this map or feels like he can take a huge risk because he's already ahead one game and maybe throw the Zerg off with a build order he hasn't seen that on a map like this before, or at least hasn't practiced enough on. The build BeSt is doing is actually my favorite build. It's the build I use the most in Protoss versus Zerg.
And what would that be?
Well, it's just one base you get fast Corsair, and you usually follow that up with a very, very, very fast Dark Templar. Basically, it's what you normally see Protoss players do after they do a fast expand, except in this case it's the reverse. Although he did get a second gate, which is actually even more unusual. We might see a very, very unorthodox build. Pretty much 80% of the time you see Protoss one base, they're going to go Corsair DT, but in this case we might see something different. I'm not sure.
All right, kind of like what you said, though. I mean, these maps, Neo Requiem being more of a old school map, but
yeah.
I've noticed a lot in these GOM series, there's a lot more creative play.
Yeah, certainly a lot more creative play. And that's because these maps really reward that. A lot of people were complaining that, maps like Andromeda, for instance, I mean, they're good maps. I personally enjoy playing on them a lot. But they don't, they pretty much reward the player who sits back and masses up, whereas maps like these may reward great risks. really rewarding the thinker is what they were going for here when they were making the maps this time around.
Good.
Well, it looks like Protoss may do some type of mid-game rush, making it look like he's going Corsair DT, and then he's going to actually mass up a bunch of Zealots. No! Oh my god, he's going to do the Goon Cheese. Oh my god, this is like a very, very unusual and risky opener. Basically, he pumps Dragoons off of 3 gates, totally throws his Zerg off, and tries to break the entrance. Now, it's a very risky build. It was pretty much popular about 4 years ago, only for a few months before people stopped doing it. The problem is that Mutalisks counter it pretty easily.
I guess the next question then would be, will Hero be able to read that and counter it correctly?
He can't read it yet. It's not obvious. So far, looks like Protoss is doing it pretty good. We did see something upgrading in the course. So we can assume it's the 3-gate Goon. We didn't see a Citadel, or if we did, I didn't get a glimpse of it, and I apologize. But I would assume it's Mass Goon.
Alright, but it looks like...
He's going to have to keep pumping Corsairs, by the way. Continuing to mass Corsairs. Yeah, he is going to do the Goon trick. Okay. I was really worried my career was going to be on the line here for a second if I totally mispredicted that. Here's a problem, is that basically Zerg can keep... Okay, now he knows what's going on. Zerg can keep the Protoss matted in his base with counterattacks if done correctly. But a crappy counterattack and it's over. Okay, it's going to be up to this window of time. This is not a build that evolves comfortably into even early mid-game at all. It's basically a timing rush that's intended to totally throw the opposing player off. The Corsair is harassing the Mutas. Looks like the timing rush is going to work. We do see some pretty good control here, though, from the Zerg. He's going to back up and start sniping the Mutalisks. He needs to keep reinforcing these Dragoons. If he can get over there and snipe the other Sunken Colony, it'd be good. And this is what I'm talking about. I don't know if the timing rush is going to work, and now I think BeSt may have just pissed away the possibility of winning this game. See, this is the thing. He had to cut probes. Zerg can go counterattack now. This means that this is the only opportunity now for Protoss to go back in there and attack again. See, he's cut probes. He only has, what, like 18 probes or, thereabouts?
There's the Scourge. We're looking for that.
The Scourge. I always call him Scourge. People always make fun of me for it.
Scourge.
That and Vulture Bikes. There are no pedals underneath that metal armor, but people still make fun of me for it. It looks like, all right, here we go. Oh, God. See, I think BeSt just lost. Unfortunately, the timing attack just did not work, and all Zerg has to do is make Sunken Colonies. Okay, Protoss going to go for it one more time. This really has to work. He micros back, but there's just not enough.
No, it's not enough.
Definitely not enough.
Oh, no.
God. That's it. He might even punch in GG now. I mean, he has no presence on the map at all. Zerg can pretty much do whatever he wants now.
Oh.
Looks like BeSt's going to try to keep up in Goons for just, at least a little bit, but, it's not going to be able to do anything. Zerg knows that all he has to do is keep making Sunken Colonies and gradually tech up. Although, okay, here's what I was talking about. This is what Zerg really needs to do. Okay, but it looks like, once again, Protoss may move in there. You can see Hero, though, is pretty intimidated by his opponent. Nice snipe there. Takes out the 2 Sunken Colonies, but too many Mutalisks here.
It's not going to be enough.
There it is. GG. Hero took one game back there. You're a winner for that round.
You're a winner.
Good job, Hero, showing that he's not going to lose to some timing attack here by BeSt.
Look at him concentrating like that with his eyes closed.
Yeah, he's getting in the zone.
Alright, so, our third game is going to be on Medusa. What do you think we could expect on that?
Well, Medusa is probably the map I feel the least comfortable talking about, but I will say that Medusa is also one of these maps where we gotta watch for this high ground behind the main and these temples that are blocking the entrance to that. I just feel like as the metagame evolves on that map specifically, I think we can see some pretty interesting stuff coming out of there.
All right. Well, so last game, because of that timing attack, I really thought, he wasn't going to be able to hold it off. But while holding it off, kind of threw BeSt for a loop, I guess. Yeah,
it looks like BeSt thought he could win that with just, a simple timing attack. He wanted to get the game out of the way. Usually if your opponent lost the first game, sometimes you can do something that they wouldn't really expect. And because they're a bit uncomfortable from that first loss, they can't concentrate and lose to something like that. But it didn't work.
Do you think he underestimated his opponent?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if that strategy really works anymore. I haven't seen it work. Every once in a while, I'll try it. If I lose a bunch of probes early on, I'll just try a strategy like that because do something all in. But even when I do it, it's tough. Well, I think we're going to go into Game 3 here pretty soon.
I think so,
too. I think so. I don't have the in-game monitor on my screen, so I'm not entirely sure. But I think our third map, going to be Medusa. Should be pretty interesting. 3-player map, very complicated map. We're still seeing players figure it out, so it should be exciting to see what happens when people finally do master it.
Sorry, I'm trying to peek over onto his screen over there. They're both in the game right now, so we should be starting pretty soon.
Well, until then, pretty exciting game so far. Who are you rooting for?
You know what? I'm going to have to go with BeSt, being that I am a Protoss player. And
I am a Protoss player, too.
There's
clearly some Protoss bias here. We should not have revealed that we're both from IR. That's too bad. I'm kind of rooting for BeSt, too. I'm a big fan of him. Okay, we're going to start right now. Get ready.